we want to change the way that movies are shown. We want to bring things that aren't normally available to Savannah, and we want to be your theater. We want to create our want to create this vision, but we also want your help. We want this to be something that we do together. So a community theater that's run by its audience and shows what they want to see. The idea for this theater was born out of a passion and a frustration, like passion for limited release movies that don't normally get the exposure they deserve, and then a frustration that they really weren't available in Savannah outside of the film festival. The earliest example was 127 Hours with James Franco. We would like to be within walking distance of the major SCAD dorms and stuff, just because that was where we were when we kind of incepted the idea. We want it to be accessible for everybody who attends the school, at least, but also to the greater community, and I think it would be a really good fit in downtown Savannah. We want to be on Broughton Street, ideally. Lynn Scott is a hybrid of my name and one of our business partners' names, but he's moved away, so the name's kind of up in the air, but for now, we call it the Lynn Scott Theater. It was absolutely freshman year. That was when 127 Hours was at the film festival. And we just continually would see these movies on upcoming, like on the Flickster app and stuff, that we would have to kind of flip a coin as to whether or not we were going to be able to see without having to go to Charleston or up to Hilton Head. Mm-hmm. It's crazy that in such an artistic place, surrounded by so many students and people who are otherwise interested in the arts and independent film and all that these movies aren't available to us, and mm-hmm. we want to provide that. Our framework was built around an Indiegogo, a crowdfunding model, and we're working on reorganizing the plans that we had to support private investors. So that part's still under development. We wanted to create the first entirely crowd-funded theater. We thought that would be really special, especially for Savannah and the students, and the way that we're trying to present it, which is just a love of movies and a theater that's that the content is determined by what people want to see, and so we can have a really direct relationship with them. And we thought it would be great to do that from the ground up, but it didn't work. The campaign didn't get quite as far as we hoped, but we did connect with a lot of people and made a lot of friends that we wouldn't have otherwise made. So now we're adjusting the business plan to be attractive to private investors. The most expensive component would actually be the seats.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising. Why?
Depending on where you get them. Each seat can be about $500 a piece.
You're kidding.
Yeah. Which would mean if we fill the auditorium with 110 seats, which is about what we want to do, a single screen, that's $55,000.
Holy cow!
And that is more expensive than the projection system that we want.
Really?
Yeah, which is top of the line. It's made for it's called the Christie Solario one. It's made for independent venues up to 35 feet in screen size, and yeah, it would be less expensive than our seating. Well, it's always been our goal to have a really close relationship with the community that we're a part of, and SCAD is Savannah, pretty much. We wanted to make it clear to everybody that we don't intend to step on any toes. We'd want to communicate really closely with the SCAD Cinema Circle, just to make sure that, because we'd also play older things that we really enjoy, and so just to make sure that we're not displaying the same movies, or even the same sorts of movies, really, because we want that to continue to be a thing, because that's another reason we want to do this, because SCAD Cinema Circle is great.
They run out of the Trustees Theater, correct?
Yeah, they do. Sometimes in the Lucas, too, mm-hmm. I believe. Yeah. But we'd love to talk to SCAD about it being a resource for the festival, for a reliable place to maybe screen things quarterly rather than just the yearly senior shows. Well, the big ones at least. There's a senior show every quarter, but it's just not quite as big. So we want to bring the focus. We want to accommodate all these professional independent movies, but we also want to be a part of what's unique about Savannah. So a showcase for what's made not only at SCAD, but at some of the high schools and some of the middle schools that have film programs. We'd love to just be a resource for everybody.
It's been Arian.
I don't. I really don't know why someone hasn't done this already. And there has to be a first person. I imagine a lot of people are frustrated that we have to drive far to see first release independent films. I'd say the minimum would be 8 months. We have some interesting things lined up. A meeting with I don't want to say too much actually. A meeting with some promising leads.
Good.
Let's say that. Yeah. You can follow us on Twitter at @LynScottTheater, and you can find us on Facebook by searching Lynn Scott Theater.